I guess we'll go to the next one is Hyrule Warriors. I know that you have somewhat of a history with this game, with these kind of games, I guess.
This one? No, I've never
You
played this
not
one.
the original one? The
Nope.
hmm. Well, neither have I. I have a history with this game. Uh, I know. I kind of missed
I,
it.
I believe this one was on Wii U, right? And
Yeah,
then
it
they
was
released
August 2014.
yeah, and then they released like a terrible port on the 3DS, which never played that one either.
Yeah. No, missed this one. Um, On to the next one. We have Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. We already touched on Majora's Mask, but this is probably the way to play if you're going to. Next on the list will be Triforce Heroes, October 2015. Did you play this game?
That's a big no.
I think I remember seeing it at E3. That's it.
I played this game for a little bit and fell off because it was not at a point in my life where I had people to play with. So
And I think I forgot to mention it earlier, but going back to like Four Swords, I played the Four Swords Anniversary Edition, which was, if you don't know what that was, it was like a little downloadable version on the DSi that they provided for free. And then they brought it back again for like on the 3DS. So I
Yeah.
played that version and like they added like a solo mode to it. And so I played through that whole game solo, never really played the multiplayer version. But Triforce Heroes, or that's what it's called, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Triforce Heroes kind of looked like it was gonna be something similar to that, but it looked
Well,
like it just like never really hit.
and the interesting thing with this one was like they had like a whole fashion game thing with this one. Like fashion was
Yeah.
a big part of that game. I didn't like it. My wife at the time liked it. It was not for me. Next on the list would be Hyrule Warriors Legends. Didn't play this one either. I'm
I think
assuming it's
that's
just
the
the
3DS port I was
3DS.
talking
Yeah.
about. That
Uh,
apparently does not run great.
no, it ran terribly. I remember hearing January 2016 that one came out. Next on the list is Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U. This is how I played it, or this is how I beat it rather. Later on, and I remember being super appreciative of coming back to it, and having it still hold up after remembering in my head, like except for the wolf parts. I didn't really gel with the wolf parts personally, but I didn't think it controlled well, and I didn't think those were fun parts when you weren't Link. So it was an interesting idea they tried, but I think those are probably some of my favorite dungeon designs for 3D Zelda. Was I can't remember, was the top, I keep getting it mixed up in my head. I think was the top you get where you ride the sides of the thing, was that Skyward Sword or was that Twilight Princess?
That was Twilight Princess.
Okay. So I remember that being one of the notable parts for me, being like, oh, that's a really cool idea where you just use the top to ride on rails and stuff. And that was really fun. But yeah, this is how I beat Twilight Princess. If you're gonna play it on this. We kind of already touched on that one. My God, why is it? There was a game called My Nintendo Picross, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess theme. So it's like for Nintendo 3DS in March 2016. Don't know if you ever played this. I didn't play it. I saw it.
Not even a Zelda game, to be honest.
Yeah,
Cross
not
game.
really a Zelda game. It's like the Tingle games, really. But Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, March 2017. I remember the wait for this game being probably the longest I've felt like between Zeldas, that I don't know, finally justified by this game coming out. This is a hard one to like break down into a quick thing, but Eric, what's your quick thoughts on that?
All I was gonna say is like just think about it. Like look at the timeline. Skyward Sword released in 2011. You had to wait 6 years for Breath of the Wild in 2017. That's almost an entire console generation if you think about it. Like, and like it released on Wii U and the Switch. And like if you think about it, what would you consider Skyward or Twilight Princess to be, or not Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild to be? Would you consider that a Wii U game or a Switch game?
Oh, absolutely, a Switch game, right?
I think everyone will consider that a Switch game.
I mean,
so when you think about it,
I thought about it as a Wii U game, but
you did,
yeah.
Because as an owner of a Wii U, I was waiting for that thing for a long time.
Did you end up playing?
Like I consider it
I did.
game.
I bought it for the Wii U.
Okay. I'd like to hear.
I bought a Switch day one and bought Breath of the Wild day one, so I was like, that's a Switch game to me.
Yeah, I'd like to get. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, well, just one more thing. I was gonna say, like, if you can, like, if you look at the Wii U's like Zelda library, the Wii U doesn't have like a unique Zelda game on it. It's all like ports or games available on other systems.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's not necessarily true, but yeah. Gaff, go ahead.
I pre-ordered Breath of the Wild for the Wii U at Best Buy, and then one day after school, my my dad drove me to Best Buy to pick it up, and then I started playing it that night. And it was awesome.
How
And
many
the
people
reason I
were there for
say,
Switches instead of uh instead of Wii U
well,
copies?
I don't know. It was like 6 p.m. It was dark.
Oh, okay.
Everyone already gotten their copies. I was at school, so I. The reason I say that this should be considered a Wii U game is because the Wii U tablet had Breath of the Wild had some specific functionality for the Wii U tablet, okay? Because it was your Sheikah plate. You don't get that shit, not exactly on the Switch, okay? You can tell that they started with the Wii U in mind, and they realized, wait, we're gonna sell the Switch like hotcakes. So we put on the Switch day one.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't argue that. I think I remember then, like, I remember like all those trailers they showed off. Like, I remember one at the Game Awards where they showed off the game, like playing on the gamepad or whatever. But I thought they removed like those gamepad specific features, even on the Wii U version. Like, it's like the only thing you can do on it is like mirror the game onto the Wii U gamepad, not like have the map separately, like have the map on the gamepad and keep playing on the
Is
TV.
my memory wrong?
I thought
I don't know.
there was something like where they removed those features. I don't remember.
Did the pad look? Did the Sheikah Slate look different in the Wii U version? Am I
I don't think
crazy?
so. I think it was just the same.
Okay, okay. I just
I
remember.
know it's like supposed to resemble a Wii U gamepad, but when I look
Mm,
at it, I'm like, that's too small to be a Wii U
yeah,
gamepad.
yeah.
I was like, that's it's not a
It's
Switch, but I was like, it looks more Switch sized.
it's not Fisher Price sized.
Wasn't the size of a cutting board?
Yeah.
Um, I still didn't beat Breath of the Wild. I played like a few hours of it, but then I quit because I was climbing up this mountain. It was really cold, and I didn't have enough hot peppers to keep me warm. And I remember I was steps away from getting to a checkpoint,
Damn.
but my health was too low and the cliff was too high. So when I landed, I took enough fall damage to die, and then I put it down. I never picked it up
Oh,
again.
shoot. Oh man, you should get back to it. I think it would be good.
Well, I don't have a Wii U anymore, so I
That's
can't
fair.
play that
Well,
game.
maybe just play Tears of the Kingdom, I guess, right? Yeah, Eric, you were gonna get into it. What's your personal history with that? Like, did you have it on? You had it on release, right?
Yeah, got it on release. Breath of the Wild is like interesting to me because like I'm like someone who appreciates story in games, and like this one obviously like that 2017 trailer definitely led people astray because that definitely like hinted at like a big story going on, and then you play the actual game, and it's like mostly flashbacks and stuff like that. Um, so story wise, the game is like really not my personal favorite for Zeldas, but I can also appreciate like what it did for the series. Like if you look at Skyward Sword, people were like criticizing it for how linear it felt. Like at that point, like the Zelda formula was like kind of locked in. It kind of felt a little, even though the games are still great, like it kind of felt samey at that point. And so you
Mm-hmm.
go to Breath of the Wild where they hugely shake it up, and like open world games were already a thing by this point in the industry. Like you have your Ubisoft open worlds, you have like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. But something about Breath of the Wild like changed everything for like the gaming landscape, and like there's like no way, there's like no icons on the map that tell you where to go. There's no hand holding in this game. Once you finish a great plateau, you're on your own. You can go do what you want. You can go fight Ganon if you want to immediately right after the tutorial. And people have done that. People have the speedrunners know what they're doing for sure. Like they beat the game so quickly. And just like just seeing the internet like react to this entire game when it released was like something magical. Like not only like
Mm,
not only to the game itself, like the Switch as well. Like playing your games, playing like console quality games on the go is something like magical, and like obviously it's kind of it's worn off at that
sure.
point. It's been like 6 7 years at this point since 2017,
Yeah.
and so it's not the same. But like seeing all the hype again for Tears of the Kingdom come up, it's kind of reminded me of like all the Breath of the Wild hype that was going on during that time. And so I'm like looking forward to like seeing like all the crazy creations people do, seeing like all the wacky ways people like break the game.
Yeah.
Was like it's getting me like a little excited, even though Breath of the Wild wasn't my favorite Zelda game. I still appreciate what it does, and like I'm excited to see like where Tears of the Kingdom goes.
Yeah, man. So for those who don't know, Breath of the Wild was play tested as an 8-bit game. Now, I'm not sure how common knowledge is this, but I thought it was interesting to see to test out a lot of the new mechanics in Breath of the Wild. The game's development team first created a playable two-dimensional prototype based on the 8-bit Legend of Zelda, which I would have loved them to just release as like a neat pre-order bonus or something like that. Would have been interesting. But yeah, it exists out there, an 8-bit version of Breath of the Wild. So I remember going on a road trip and coming back to having the Switch and Zelda and being like, damn, it would have been nice to have this on the road trip. I would have played the shit out of it, right? But nevertheless, I was so excited to get back after I think I was California at the time. I went to California and I came back, and this was just waiting for me when I got back. Yeah, I played this so much for the first week. I think I took off like 3 extra days solid to like just completely dive into this thing. And I don't regret it. You know, I was like hearing about that online and hearing about like seeing that after such a long time having, you know, this reinvention of Zelda and having it come back and be such an awesome thing, and everyone on the internet talking about it and it being 10 out of 10s like everywhere. And, you know, having that vindication of being like, yes, the wait was worth it in this case, was really nice to see. And being a part of that conversation, obviously to this day, is probably one of my favorite gaming like experiences. I was just talking to my friends at the time and being like, did you see this? Did you do this? Just that kind of stuff.
Like in high school, man, wait, high school kids are the worst, and being a Nintendo fan in that time was just asking to get bullied. Everyone hated the Wii U. Everyone was calling you a crybaby, fake gamer.
Yeah.
And then there's me being like, I'm excited for Zelda. And then it comes out and everyone's fucking playing it.
Yep.
That's the vindication that you need.
Yeah, exactly. I remember being like bittersweet about it because I'm like, well, shit, the Wii U was kind of a flop, right? But obviously with the excitement of the Switch, it was nice to see a win, you know. It was nice to see that win after such a long dark period of Nintendo.
Yeah, like even then, like people were like when the Switch was like first revealed and they had that presentation, there was still like a lot of people like still thinking that Nintendo was like not gonna be able to pull it off. And then look at it now, like it's, I believe it's like the top I want to say like top 5 selling consoles of all time right now. I forget exactly like what number it is, but it's like somewhere around there.
I just think having that is very was very critical to the Switch success, honestly, to have that at launch day. So I think it was a very smart move by Nintendo. But even though at the detriment of your previous console having it come out later.
Like
the Wii U crawled so the Switch could run.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the saying.
Like if anyone who bought a Switch day one was playing Breath of the Wild, basically, because that day one library wasn't the greatest. Is all I'm gonna say.
So it was that or Snipper Clips.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I played the
like
so
Snipper Clips is a fun
I got
game,
my
right?
yeah, I got my Switch like at Walmart early in the morning, but I pre-ordered Breath of the Wild at GameStop, and GameStop didn't open until like 10 o'clock. So I was just like there for a couple hours, just playing the Snipper Clips demo. I'm just like, well, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do right now. I'm just waiting for GameStop to open.
Okay, so the Nintendo Switch was now the 3rd best selling console of all time. So
yeah, behind the DS and the PS2, right, is what it is.
Yeah, and so 10.6 million units as of February this year. So pretty good. In any case, between Breath of the Wild and now Tears of the Kingdom, I'm gonna do like a flash forward here because we're getting a little long on the tooth. Cadence of Hyrule 2019, which was like from, you know, it's a rhythm game. I have not played it. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake. This one, September 2019. I think this is how a lot of people are playing Link's Awakening. Kind of got that glow up with the new art style and things like that. We did touch on Link's Awakening already, though. So next we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, November 2020. Eric, you recently played this
For
one,
sure
right?
played that one.
Recently, you say
Okay.
2020.
2020. Okay. You played this one though, right?
Yeah, I played it. Yeah. So like when they first revealed this, I was like, because I believe this was revealed after Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
like the very first trailer for Tears of the Kingdom before we knew it was called Tears of the Kingdom. Um, and so when they revealed this, I was like, oh man, does this mean like Breath of the Wild is like gonna be a trilogy now? Because like this was like going into the past before the war or whatever, like during the war
Yeah, but
against Ganon or whatever.
it's not
But
canon, right?
turns out, yeah, that's just some fucking bullshit warrior shit where
Mm.
it's like an alternate timeline or whatever. It's like very none of the champions die at the end. It's just like a little weird timey wimey bullshit.
So sad.
Going
None
on
of the
here.
champions die.
Yeah, they somehow bring in like their ancestors into the game. You know, it's supposed to take place in the past. So they bring in like
Right.
Sidon and stuff. And so like it was cool, but like that frame rate just absolutely did not help at all. That
Was
frame
it?
rate absolutely dips at moments, and so
This was
I just
around.
finished it to beat the story, and I was like, okay, this was all right. It's whatever. I was lied to.
Yeah. Next we have Skyward Sword HD 2021, which is how you played that, if I'm right. Or how you play. You went back to revisit this, right?
Yeah.
Then obviously, you know, we're still waiting on Tears of the Kingdom. So
Yeah.
very, very imminently, 5 days from now, as of recording. I don't know. I couldn't be more excited, I don't think, for this game.
Yeah, and it's just wild to think about. Like, we thought the wait from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild was long. It's been longer from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom.
That's crazy. That is crazy to think about that. And to kind of wrap this up and get a little bit of a stinger here, the last fact I'm going to put in is an explanation about our friend Tingle here. Tingle's hugely popular, just not in the US. Link's cartographer friend Tingle has gotten mixed reviews from US gamers, in part because he's so incredibly strange and flamboyant. But in Japan, Tingle is quite popular. He's starred in his own standalone games there, including what we mentioned, Tingle's Balloon Fight DS, Too Much Tingle Pack, and Color Changing Tingle's Love Balloon Trip. Yeah. It's just funny.
Who is Tingle?
You never played Majora's Mask? You played Majora's Mask, right? You first introduced there?
Yeah. I will let people watching this video go figure out who Tingle is, and we'll maybe do that one time on like a bonus episode or something. But this has been our Hyrule Historia, our history with the Legend of Zelda series. I hope you're all excited about the Tears of the Kingdom as we are, and I'm sure we will be covering that. If you have not checked this out or hit the subscribe button and the like, that would be greatly appreciated. We're on every platform. You go to podpage.com/X to interact. We've got a bevy of content and reactions. We do a bunch of things like that. And I hope to see you in the comments. And we will see you in the next one.
Damn it, I was gonna do that.